How do you enjoy letting go of anger? Well, Maharaj-ji said to me, love everyone, Ram Dass. Right? I said, okay. And then he called me up a little while later. He says, Ram Dass, tell the truth. All right. Then he called me up a few minutes later. He said, Ram Dass, love everyone. All right. And then he called me up a few minutes later. He said, Ram Dass, they'd say, Ram Dass, Maharaj-ji wants to see you. And you go running up and he'd say, tell the truth. Okay, Maharaj-ji, Jao, go away. And he kept calling me and to love me, tell the truth. Well, the truth was I didn't love everyone. And always in the past, what I did was I made believe I loved everyone. And then just sort of hid the way I didn't love them. I love you, that kind of thing. And I thought, wouldn't it be interesting to change it around and tell the truth for a change? I mean, I might as well grow. And the truth is, and I looked around at all these Westerners who were hanging around Maharaj-ji, and I wanted to have them all to myself, and they were all there because I had opened my big mouth back in America. And I hated all of them, see? So I really just didn't want to be near any of them. So I started to just hate them all. And I was busy not using money in those days. I was under a sadhana not to touch money. So I used to count on them to pay my car fare on the bus. But now I hated them all, so I wouldn't let them do that. So I had to walk to the temple, which made me all the more angry. And I really hated all of them. And I got to the temple, and they were all eating, and they were being with Maharaj-ji, and I was 3 hours late because I had to walk the 8 miles. And I was furious. And I walked in, and one of the guys I hated most brought me a plate of food, and I was so furious, I took the plate of food and I threw it at him, see? I mean, I was really furious, right? This took 2 weeks to build up. Maharaj-ji's sitting across the courtyard, and he calls me over. Ram Dass, is something troubling you? I said, yes, I hate all those people. I said, in fact, I hate everybody, including myself. I only love you. And he said, you love me? And I said, yes, I love you. And tears are streaming down his face, and I'm crying and hysterical, and he's ordering milk and feeding me milk and pulling my beard. And you love me? Yes, I love you. You hate all them? Yes. And he comes up close and he says, I thought I told you to love everyone. And I said, but you told me to tell the truth, and the truth is I hate them. And he came up close, nose to nose, eyeball to eyeball, and he said, love everyone and tell the truth. What I heard him saying was, when you are finished being who you think you are, this is who you will be. And I looked over at these people whom I hated, and I saw that one flick of consciousness away, I loved them incredibly. I was just busy hating them. But to let go of that hatred, I had righteous, good reasons. He had done this, and he had done that, and she had done this, would mean to let go of my pride. I saw that standing between me and letting go of that anger was pride. And I realized that what he was saying was that anger is never going to get me to God. It's never going to liberate me. It's not functional. So I went across, then he sent me over and he called everybody over, and then he said, go touch Ram Dass's feet. He's a great saint, which freaked me all the more. All these people I hated coming and touching my feet. I saw my predicament, so I cut up an apple into little segments, and I put a piece of apple into each person's mouth. But I knew that if you feed a person with anger in your heart, it's like putting poison into their mouths. So I had to let go of the anger, and it took me, I don't know, it seemed like an hour and a half or so to feed the 30 people, to look into each person's eyes and let go of the anger, even though I was right. Since then, I've been in this interesting predicament. Since I know that anger isn't going to get me to God, and yet I get angry because the world isn't the way I think it ought to be. Every time I get angry, I see that the longer I hold it, the harder it's going to be to let go. So I'm noticing that I let go of it sooner. I get it as often as I ever did, but I just let go of it sooner. And you get to the point where just as you're getting angry, you think, uh-oh, here we go again, and then you just let go. You just practice letting go sooner and sooner. Once you are without anger, then you can get really angry. I mean, there's nothing more beautiful than Dharmic anger. I mean, a Zen monk who beats you and, you no good bum, get out of this ashram. I thought a saint never gets angry. Oh, get out. They can do it because they're not angry at all. The samurai who's supposed to kill the killer of his master, and he chases him for 2 years, and he chases him up an alley. He's a spiritual swordsman. And the murderer turns to him, and the samurai pulls the sword to kill the killer, and the killer spits in the samurai's face, and the samurai sheathes his sword and walks away. And the killer runs after the samurai and says, "Why didn't you kill me? I killed your master." And the killer says, and the samurai says to him, "Because I got angry." If I killed you when I was angry, who wants the karma of that? I mean, I was only killing you because it was my functional role as a samurai. I'm not going to kill you because I'm personally angry because you spit in my face. Okay. Which brings you to the question, where does karma come from? And it's all attached action. Anytime you're identified with the actor, you just create more of the illusion of your own separateness.